Hey guys, I'm Ash.
And I'm Pete.
We're two friends with a combo of 7 kids ranging from toddlers to 20s and 2 crazy husbands.
Our paths were not easy. With childhood battle wounds, divorce, second marriages and all, we somehow found each other. And together we talk real life, laugh, cry, and figure out how to survive the day.
Music is by Dustbowl Champion. To hear Dustbowl Champion's newest hits, search Dustbowl Champion on Spotify.
Hey guys, it's Ash and P.
Hey, could you hear all that?
I know, I think hey cut out. Sorry about that.
Ashley's got a little bit of a
Sexy voice. Let's say it's
sexy
sexy.
voice. Yes.
I know, it's horrible, but
It's just that, I mean, it's like, it's going around right now. Colds are going around.
Yeah.
It's getting really cold.
I know.
Like all of a sudden.
I know. Today at work, yesterday, so I felt bad on Sunday. On Sunday, I woke up and I was coughing and I was like, oh gosh, like, I don't know if I should go to church. Jason's like, probably not. You sound horrible. And I was like, just didn't feel good. I slept almost all day long. But I sounded fine on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Monday, I felt a little icky, but I still sounded fine. And I don't know, I woke up today, I felt a lot better, but I sound like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. My friends are like, we were walking and I didn't have my sweatshirt on. They're like, you're sick and you're not even wearing a jacket. We're not going to be out here that long. It's fine. But
I know. Well, I've got a little thing going on.
yeah. I know you and I sounded like twins yesterday.
Excuse me. Yes, we did. But the girls have had a cough for a couple weeks.
Yeah,
like,
Jason's convinced that that's where I got it from. I'm like,
from
really?
my girls?
Yeah, but I'm like, he's been like this for like 2 weeks too.
Yeah.
So
could have been.
Maybe he gave it to your girls.
Maybe. I mean, they are little germies.
Jason and the girls.
Yes, Jason and the girls. But it's just what happens. I'm just grateful that it's like mild. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, we are in the middle of chaos right now because we are days away from Christmas, and it's madness right now. Like, I'm so busy at work right now. Like, I'm slammed. Like, I can't catch a breath at work.
So what is so busy at work this time of year? I don't think we've talked about it at all. So,
there's a lot. I have so many deadlines, and I have art. So I have one of our big events, the big luncheon. It's like,
the business one.
Yes,
is
next month.
Oh gosh.
So I'm doing registration for that. I'm doing all that stuff.
You guys have to do the magazine and stuff.
That's what's like really stressing me out. Today at I finally left, I'd say about 5:15, but I literally only get up to leave my desk to go to the restroom, and that's it. I stay at my desk the entire time, and I don't leave. And I've been that way since I got back from everything.
I know. And you've been MIA.
I have.
You really have.
And even when I took a couple of days off, I worked. I worked at the airport. I worked at the hotel. I worked in the car up and back to Stockton. I had my laptop out and I just worked because it is insane. And I opened up registration for Big Cat Days, and it's kind of been crazy mess. So work is insane right now.
It's been insane since before September.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to slow down. I think that I may have slower times in the summer, and that's going to always be it. It's just
It's crazy.
So much.
Yeah.
But so work is busy, and then we've had family things going on.
Right.
It's Christmas time. We've had parties.
Right.
We actually flew out to Vegas in the middle of last week for the night.
Crazy.
Which was a really nice getaway. It was for my husband's company party, like Christmas dinner. But we flew out and we came back the next day.
Yeah.
So it was really quick.
Did you sleep good?
I slept in.
I just always, like, for me, obviously.
But we went to bed really late too. So.
Oh, did you sleep like solid slept through though? I just wonder. So obviously my kids are older, so it's not like, oh, I need to go out of town to get like a break like that, like to get some good sleep in.
Yes.
If I wanted to on the weekend, I could just sleep my life away.
Yeah.
But for you, and I mean, you get up early, just that's your normal thing.
Yes.
But with the kids, there's that interrupted sleep that you have.
So typically I don't need very many hours of sleep.
I know, it's insane.
But it has been a lot because the kids have not been sleeping through the night again, like consistently. And it was nice. I felt really bad because I look at the clock, and if it's like later in the morning, I'm like if it's 7 and I've been asleep, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, granted, I didn't go to bed till like, 2:30 in the morning, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get up. But I'm exhausted, but it's hard for me to like shut it off. Well, oh my gosh, sorry. Well, I kind of did. And I went back to sleep for a little bit. And then Tony's boss called. And so then, but I was like, God, if I could, I would just sleep. I would just lay there. And
you would?
I really wanted to.
I don't know that I can believe that.
My mind was going off, but I was so physically tired.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like you've had so much going on, like physically, emotionally, mentally. I can't imagine.
So I have to tell you. So we leave. I work from home Wednesday morning, and I'm like, I'm not going to go in the office. I'm going to work from home so that we can leave from here and go straight to the airport. We take the kids to daycare and school and all that. My mom was going to pick them up and everything, which that's a whole thing too. But everything's worked out. Tristan's going with her dad. The kids are going to my mom's. We got everything covered, and we're taking off. I take my laptop. I tell the office, I'm going to work. I have my laptop. I'm good. We get to the airport, and the office calls. So pull out my laptop. I start working, and we're working and sitting there having, French fries or whatever at the little bar. And our plane gets delayed. I get a text from my ex-husband. Hey, I need you to call me. I'm like, oh, great. What?
Yeah.
He's like, so I went to the doctor, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I tested positive for COVID. Oh, great. As I'm coughing, I'm saying this. That sounds awesome.
We do not have COVID.
We do not have COVID. We have a cold. So, anyway, he couldn't pick up Tristan because he had COVID. I obviously wasn't going to send her over there to him. So now I'm at the airport working, and now I'm trying to figure out where my child is going.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I had to figure that all out, and it just was insane. But anyway, we get on the plane, and it's a short ride to Vegas, right? It's a really quick flight. We get on the plane, and I tell Tony, okay, I'm on the plane now, so I'm going to take a nap. And he's like, okay. So I sleep. On the way back, it's like 5:30 in the evening. No, it's 4 o'clock in the evening. We get on the flight and I take a nap. And we get back and he goes, I just don't even understand how you do that. How do you sleep on an airplane? I've never been able to sleep on an airplane. I go,
Why?
I don't care where I am.
Yeah.
If I'm that tired, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why some people can't.
I think for him, he gets anxious.
Oh.
I think. But he also is like, it's uncomfortable. I'm like, oh, I don't care about comfort.
Yeah, I mean, sleep is sleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I told you when I picked Tristan up from karate and I'm leaving the parking lot, I said, "Hey Dee, do you know how to get to your grandparents' house?" And she was like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, cool." She goes, "Just go like you're going to my house." I'm like, "Okay, perfect." And we're like probably a half a mile from Armstrong. And I go, "Do they live off Armstrong?" She goes, "I'm really bad with directions. I don't know. If you go, okay, you know the street by the school. So not the street where the ag is, but the street to your right." This is how she's explaining it to me.
Oh my gosh.
Ashlyn, yeah, the street to your right. If you just go to the corner right there, then I can tell you how to get to my grandparents. I was like, "Girlfriend, that is past your grandparents. How about you just call your Nana and get her address for me?"
Oh my gosh.
And then we get up to Armstrong. She goes, "Wait, you turn right here." And I was like, so we did end up having to call your mom. But I was like, I'm not driving over there.
As a matter of fact, not only have we had this conversation, we talked about it in Vegas with another couple that was there. She's 16, doesn't have her license yet, doesn't even have her permit.
Does she even care to drive?
I don't think so. But I really wish she did, because it would make my life a lot easier. But she's a smart girl, so I don't understand why she's a dummy with things like this, because she's a smart girl.
See, this is what I think it is.
Georgia knows how to get around town better than she does. And Georgia's going to be 4.
Okay, I don't have an excuse for that. Georgia, I think, is very, very smart and she pays very close attention to detail.
She does.
Very focused on that. But what I think it is I think that when we were her age, we knew streets because we had to get ourselves around, right? Like, our parents weren't driving us around everywhere. We had to get ourselves around places.
Yes.
So we had to know where to go.
Yes.
What street came first, what street came second, and that kind of thing. Especially like we rode the city bus. Yeah. You have to know where you're going in order to ride the right bus and all of that. And I think that because they don't have that, they don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That's my assumption. I'm assuming that's why.
It drives me nuts, because it's like, do you literally have absolutely no idea of direction? Like, yeah. We don't live in a ginormous town. No. Like, you should be able to get yourself around.
Yeah. Okay. So, my best friend Jen, she used to get lost all the time when we were in high school.
Oh my gosh.
Granted, she didn't live in Fresno until like 9th grade, like summer before 9th grade or, something like that. So she wasn't in town, but I had to, we had Nokias back then, right? You didn't have GPS or whatever. I literally drew out a map on a piece of paper with all of like the streets of where she would need to get to for places that we would go when we were in high school. I did that. She would get lost all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I remember being on the phone with shoot, maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was one of our other girlfriends, and her and I were together. But I had to say, like, where, I think it was one of our other friends, but I'm like, what street are you passing? Like, I freaking busted out the map. And remember when the phone book would have the map?
Uh-huh.
Busted that bad boy out. I'm like, okay, what street? No, you're going the wrong direction. You need to turn around. I freaking navigated that girl back. Not Jen. Our
Oh
other
my
friend
gosh.
with the phone book map. But kids don't need to do that these days. If they need to know how to get somewhere, they just use their phones.
Yeah.
So it's not important for them, I don't think.
Yeah.
But if these suckers go down, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you know
we
what
have
your
to go
cross
back
streets
to
are?
like Amish living.
Or if
You know?
okay, if they ever have to call 911, they ask you where you're at.
Yeah.
You know? And you can't just be like, his house with a tree in front of it.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kids are crazy. I don't think Hayden really knows streets. I think Jackson knows more streets than Hayden.
Well, it's just funny because we talked about that. And I'll tell you something that was interesting that they said to me. And I when she first said it, I was like, but we were talking about it. I was talking about it with a couple of the other wives there at dinner. And I said, she doesn't like whatever. She doesn't want to drive. And they both said, and they don't know, like, I mean, they know each other, but they don't like hang out or anything.
Yeah.
But they both said to me, don't push her.
Really?
Let it go. Sorry, guys. And I was like, really? They go, don't. And one of them said, well, first, if she's not ready, she's not ready. And if something happens, you'll be beside yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, don't say that, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh.
I never want her to drive.
But they both said, you make it worse when you push. And when they pushed theirs, the oldest one, they regretted it after.
Really?
Yeah. So don't push it. But I'm like, well, I'm afraid she's going to be like 30 years old and never drive.
Yeah. See. Sorry.
That's my thing.
That's what worries me too. I feel like if you're not even motivated to just get a driver's license.
Right. I take it as you're being lazy.
Yeah. Which I am very bad about just assuming my kids, their behaviors are just pure laziness.
Me too.
And I know there are so many other things going on, but you know how they say, like, you shouldn't compare one child to the other.
Yes. I
compare my children to me. Like,
yes.
Well, when I was your age, I was doing that.
Totally.
My mom didn't have to tell me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it? I did it this way.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And it's very difficult not to. And I understand they're different people than me, but like Hayden really, he's like convinced he has ADD, which he probably does. But I'm convinced I do too.
Yeah.
And I made it through all of school.
Right.
I have a good job. I'm a mess. Like, maybe I could be more productive if I had addressed it or maybe been medicated. But it's like, I'm not super comfortable with medications for my kids like that, just because, you know, their brains are not fully developed and stuff like that, you know, so it does make me nervous. But I'm like, yeah, I was like that too. And I did it. Do it. Like,
right.
That's a valid point. I believe that's the situation. I could totally see that being the situation, but it doesn't prevent you from doing this. I did the same. Yeah. It drives me nuts.
I know.
And so I do worry that if my kid is not wanting to get their license, one, I just need someone to drive me around when I'm drinking. Like, it's so messed up. It's hard to get an Uber these days. No,
I know.
That's not the only reason.
A friend of ours had her son pick her up from a party, and I was like,
how nice.
Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah.
But also, I'm just kind of like, you know, hey, maybe instead of telling me you want to go get boba on Willow and whatever, like when I've passed 4 bobas, you want that specific restaurant to go to. if you had your license, you could go, but you don't, so
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah. That is,
And I'm not driving you across town
Yeah.
for one place.
that's part of it too, is like, I'm really lazy and it's a big inconvenience for me to get up off the couch when I worked all day. I don't really want to go do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does worry me. I'm not there yet with Hayden.
Well, we'll see what
but
happens. I mean, she had a
driver's ed.
Friendsmas party yesterday, and one of her friends lives in the neighborhood, so he walked, but one friend drives, so she drove over, and then the other one, I think they dropped her off or something. So we'll see as all of her friends start to drive. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I hope.
See, I had one of my good friends in high school. She was like the last of us to get her license and stuff, but her parents always drove her places. Like, I don't know. I don't know. She didn't want to get a license or whatever. It just wasn't something she rushed into. And I don't want to rush my kids into it, but I also want them to be driving. Like, I want them to get the skill.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah.
Is there a harm in having them get their permit and that kind of thing? Not that you're going to force them to drive once they have it, but to have it.
I signed her up for class, online schooling, whatever, so she could do the class, do the training, and get her permit. She hasn't done any of it.
I asked her when we were driving. I asked her, "Are you doing?"
Did she say about the password?
No.
Oh, okay.
She didn't say anything about. I said, "Oh, are you doing driver's ed or driver's training or whatever?" And she goes, she kind of said something, and I was like, "Oh, so you are doing it?" And she's like, "Well, I'm going to be." She said that, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm like, for the love of God, kid, just do it during winter break or something. I mean,
I was so dang excited to get my license. I'm not a great driver. I'm a very nervous driver, which I think is not good.
Yeah.
Like, it makes you sketchy as a driver, I think. But that's one of the reasons I want my kids to drive.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to get comfortable.
Yeah.
And I want them, and I don't want to be the one to teach them because I don't want them to pick up the things that I do.
Right.
But,
well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm going to get through the season, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to push anymore. We're going to see. But I thought that was an interesting thing that two different people told me that have older children.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good point.
And I was telling him how it's like, I just worry she's not always like very, like sometimes she does things and I'm like, you're really smart. I don't really know where that came from. And she was like, oh, no. She's like, she told me a funny story. I'll just say this really quick. So she told me a funny story. She said, I'll never forget when her oldest, the one that she kind of pushed.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, she picks me up and it's like, it's hot. It's like summertime, whatever. She picks me up from the car or in the car. And I'm like,
oh no.
I'm like, turn the air on. It's so hot. Why don't you have the air on? And she goes, I don't know how.
Oh no.
And she goes, what do you mean you don't know how? And she goes, no one's ever showed me. And she goes, I have to show you? Your like 6-year-old sister knows how to turn the air on in the car. How about just try to figure it out?
That's
so
really
she's like,
funny.
that's her kid. Like, she's like, so, and I'm like, okay, so you get it. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like they do things and you're like, what are you talking about?
You know why? Because sometimes people are so book smart that when it comes to certain things that seem very basic, that's just not where their head goes.
Common sense. I would like my children to have a lot of common sense and be book smart.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I would prefer common sense, though, to be quite honest.
Me too. Yeah. Like, but it also comes like a lot of times book smart people aren't street smart, you know?
Yes.
Which I think kind of sometimes is common sense.
Yeah.
I know that sounds bad, but
Yeah. Okay, well, when we get back, I want to finish talking about Christmas.
I know
and the
we started
season.
Christmas and I got all drawn into your daughter.
I know.
Sorry.
I know. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back.
Hey.
I know this is my favorite Christmas song.
Mine too.
Oh, that's why we're friends.
I know.
Um,
And because I can sing really pretty.
well, especially right now.
now.
Me too. I can be your backup.
I mean, I can't give any free music out to anyone.
I
That's
can
why
hit
we're
those
not gonna do it.
low notes. I can hit them right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how my little one sounds sometimes when she talks.
She's so funny.
She's so cute. So anyway, we got off on a tangent talking about our teenagers not driving, and being kind of scatterbrained and stuff. But I really want to talk about the holidays because I know we kind of talked about it last week.
Yeah.
But it is just madness. And I have to tell you, and a lot of it comes from pressure on us.
Yeah.
I was pretty much done with my like bulk Christmas shopping very early. Like I would say, and when when I say very early, don't get me wrong. There are people that start like at the beginning of the year or September or whatever. I'm not saying like person. That. I don't. You know why?
Why?
I forget what I buy.
You know, Jason lost Tony's gift. He finally found it, but he lost it.
Because he bought it early, huh?
Yes.
See? I know.
He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, you're going to just have to get a new gift. I don't know where. I do not know where you put his gift. Like, I can't help you with that. But yeah.
Well, okay, let me ask you. And granted, I know we've discussed this. You're the man. He's the woman. But how many gifts do you think that he buys, like for Christmas in general? Not like for your family, like overall buys. Himself, like he goes shopping and he buys it.
Mine and his parents and his grandma.
Okay, but you just said he bought Tony's.
Oh, he buys Tony's too.
Does he buy guy?
Like he'll buy the guy gifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say about approximately?
Like
for his guy friends.
How many friends he's buying for, or how many
presents is he buying for? Like he's responsible for? Because you're not going to go buy it. You know what I mean? Like you've got other people.
5.
Okay, that's pretty low.
Like me, his grandma, his parents, Tony, and like maybe another guy friend or something.
So with the kids' gifts, does he buy any of those?
No.
You buy them all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in his defense, our girls always get money, so that doesn't require anything. Hayden's getting to the money stage also. So it's really just Jax.
That's nice.
But I've always do online. I've done online for years.
So I have to tell you, and I am very like shop local.
I know you're really good about it.
And I try all my little like little tiny things, all my little like baskets that I'm putting together. I really try because this year I felt really bad. I try to shop local. And when I say shop local, like here's what I consider shop local. Yes, mom and pop stores.
Right.
And also though, if you are spending money in your community, you are helping an employee have a job.
Right.
Right? Like like that's employing someone else because they've got sales at their store to
Right.
keep their employees. So
Right.
don't feel bad if you go to Target and you buy a bunch of stuff because
You're still keeping those people
you
employed.
are, yes, but I really try to get those little stores because
the actual like locally owned.
yes, because those businesses make our community so special. And I did this year was chaotic. I did a lot of online.
Yeah.
A lot. Like a lot. I felt bad for doing so much online and then being like done. I did go later and like even tonight I went and got a few little things from a local little like bakery shop that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
That like does all these really cool, cute things. And so things to add to like teachers' gifts and little last minute things and coworkers and things like that. But it's hard. But I've got to say, it's hard that sometimes I'm like, I love shopping for everyone because I know what I have in mind for the most part of what I want to get people. But let's be real. My husband has like a handful of gifts to buy for. And I buy for everyone else.
Right.
Everyone. And that includes the gifts for the kids. Today, he said, I think I have a gift idea. Are we good? Are we good on Tristan? And I was like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, okay, because I just thought of something that I found that I think she would really like. And I'm like, actually, she would really like that. And I think she really needs that. So go ahead and get it for her. But I'm like, you're looking now? Like, you've had how long?
So
I don't understand.
So
I'm not a last minute shopper though. No. I like everything is wrapped, everything is done, except for like tiny little I had some last minute things to get for a teacher's gift for tomorrow, and I've got to wrap those.
Yeah. So Jason did help me pick out like a couple of the things for the girls, your girls. So like he helped me. Obviously, I was the one that was like, this is what we're getting them. Okay, well, which like, what do you think? This one for this one, this one for this, like that kind of thing.
Yes.
But I was like, this is what we'll be getting them. And then like Harris Boys, I was like, oh, like this. He was like, well, who are those for? I'm like, Harris Boys, duh. Like, I don't know.
Well, they sometimes just, I think they get like, they forget like until it's like last minute, and then they're like, oh, we need to get something.
See, and you want to know why I'm so last minute? I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out there. So,
but
I do.
Why do you go out there last minute when it's madness right now?
I don't want to go out at all. I'm a massive procrastinator. It's just that it's just me.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go out, and these are the final things that I couldn't get online.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're good about shopping local. I'm not, because for my sanity, I have to do what I can online.
But I usually do it very early, so that's probably why.
And I don't. I'm not a good gift giver though, so it's hard for me. It takes me a long time to figure out what I'm going to do.
I don't think I am either, but and you know what? I go back now and I'm thinking, there's a few things that I do have to make. I have everything like done on the Cricut, but I ran out of vinyl.
Oh, that's what you're sending.
Yeah, I have to go to Joanne. So
that was cute that he was like, give me a to-do list. Like,
I think he knows I'm like losing my shit a little bit.
Well, we're in 4 days. It is Christmas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
we're running out of time.
It's just because I'm swamped at work. I can't get away to I can't break away to go get something.
Yeah.
But really quick, I want to say this. And if you're listening and you have little ones,
Pause.
Here's your warning.
Yes.
Here's your warning. Do not listen to this with them anymore. Shut us off. Come back to us. Put your earphones in, whatever.
You're so old. Put your earphones in.
Well, what are they?
Well, normally it'd be like earbuds or AirPods or
earbuds. That's a good one. Earbuds. Because AirPods, not everyone has AirPods.
Yeah, I don't. Mine are earbuds.
Okay.
But
most people have earbuds. Maybe because that's wireless.
Yeah.
Okay. I am old.
You're
last
like
year I said booze. Last episode I said booze, and this episode I said earphones.
Did you say earphones? Is that what
you
said?
Was it earphones?
Was it headphones?
Oh, headphones. You know what I mean? Whatever. Whatever they're called. The things that go in your ears.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
That was a long warning.
I know, sorry. But that's
no,
good.
I'm just saying.
That's good.
Had plenty of time.
Two things. One, I had a good question asked to me when I was in Vegas with Tony, and I'm like, he said, they said, who gets your big gifts?
Oh.
Who gives your big gifts?
I think I did mine opposite of you.
Do the big gifts come from mom and dad?
No.
Big gifts come from Santa.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, okay. I feel like I don't know who I had a conversation with, but we have a friend that did it opposite.
Someone said the opposite to me. They said, no, we give the big gifts. Santa doesn't give big gifts. And I always think like Santa brings like, hello, it's from Santa. I mean, I can't give you that. Only Santa can.
Yeah.
You know,
when I was a kid, I remember specifically saying the Easter Bunny has to be real because mom and dad wouldn't be able to afford this.
Yes.
Walkman because we were so rich.
Wait, they got a Walkman from the Easter Bunny?
Yeah.
What? How do you?
No.
What? That's a lot of money. I gave my kid like a $2 bill and thought I was like balling.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we got stimulus checks or something. I don't know. But we were like...
It was just this year. Just this year they got Walkman finally.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
They're a generation behind.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how... So how did... They did...
So they said no. They said big gifts have always come from mom and dad.
How many couples said that?
2.
Oh.
2 different couples.
Okay, see, they're
from 2 different walks of life.
2 different walks. I was going to say they're on another level than us.
They must still be on a different level because I'm like, you guys must not have been raised poor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because my mom couldn't afford anything big.
That was the magic of Santa and stuff.
Okay, thank you, because they started to make me feel bad, and I'm like, I don't think I can reverse all that I've done already.
No.
Santa always brings the big gifts.
Yeah. You know? Because those are the ones that can't go under the tree before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Santa brings the big ones because we can't afford it.
Right, and he's the magic man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
otherwise, what's so special?
What's so special about him if he just brings you a pair of socks and a t-shirt?
Yeah, no one cares.
No, mom can do that any old day.
Yeah, that's why mom and dad always brought the clothes.
So there was that, and then another thing, and I'm going to tell you guys, so it's very hard to divvy up presents evenly between kids.
Yeah. Okay. So I agree with that, and
I'm having a very hard time with that.
It's hard
because there's things that one kid needs that the other one doesn't. But there's also a birthday coming. So then I feel like an ass because I feel like she's going to have her birthday soon, like in a few weeks. And then I'm getting her all this stuff, but she actually needs the stuff that I'm giving her.
Yeah. So, well, one, don't feel like an ass because that's kind of messed up if you jip her because her birthday's soon. Like, you're not going to not give Danny that kind of stuff. Right? Like,
if was like, there's other things I could have got them evenly. I don't know.
So, okay. Question for you. Do you
And granted, I'm saying all this, and my older one is getting
the most?
no.
Oh,
She's actually getting the least, but
they're expensive.
well, it's like you want money, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get money and then a few little like things.
Yeah, no, that's acceptable.
Okay.
That's fine. We just
Okay.
Venmo the girls. That's how like magical we are. But
Do they ever say that they want like something though? Like a little something?
well, like they'll give us a list of stuff that they want, but they always put money on there. And I always feel like, gosh, the only thing that I've ever considered doing instead of money is they both need tires. And so it's like
but then if you give them money,
need.
they can decide on what they
and so
where they need to put it.
That's where I'm at. But then at the same time, I'm kind of like, but like, you know, Kyla, your tires are bald AF. Like, get those suckers replaced now. But so as far as being even, do the kids get candy in their stockings?
Yes.
Do you split that evenly?
Yes, because it's normally only like one candy. Tony goes a little bit crazy with the snacks. I try to do like, you know, like healthy snacks in their pouches, but that are still fun.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know, Tony and I are.
I know.
Lovers of all things not good for you. But it drives Jason nuts because I would get so like we've toned down the candy as the years have gone, just because it's like you end up having all this candy for how long, and then you're just like, forget it, throw it away. So we stopped doing it. But like we'll buy like a few bags of candy. I know way more than what you would do. And so I'd be like, okay, 5 kisses, 5 kisses, 5 kisses, and I like divvy it up like that.
Yeah.
And Jason's like,
you're ridiculous.
It drives him crazy. But I'm like, I remember as a kid, my siblings and we would count out, oh, I got 5 Reese's, you only got 4, I got 5. Like, I remember that.
I know. See, I feel like the kids are going to know. And granted, Danny can barely talk. I don't know how she would know that she got any less than Gigi or whatever. I'm just like, I'm trying to like, I'm making it like, I'm like freaking out about it. I'm like, she has 3, she has 4, she has 4, she has 5, she has 4. And I'm like counting all of them. Okay. That's one thing that stresses me out is that the kids aren't even. And also I feel like I'm buying a lot for the littles. And even though I'm giving the big one cash, I don't know that the dollar amount necessarily is exactly the same. I think I probably am still spending more on the littles.
You are.
But
it's hard.
I'm sorry. I'm not giving my kid like $500.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
She is not there. And trust me, she still costs me more because, you know what I mean? Like, she's got karate. Like, there's things like there's, you know what I mean? Well, I don't know if it's more. I guess I pay for school, the kids' daycare and all that. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard. It's like, I don't know. I'm like,
no, I do. And here's the thing is when you're like, okay, you're getting
but I'm
money.
more than happy to like anytime she wants a pair of shoes or something, like buy them. But she never asks. Like, she doesn't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I mean, you know, when Kyla comes to town, Jason will put gas in her car and things like that, that obviously we don't have to do for the boys. And I mean, not that we have to for Kyla, but we don't do for the boys. They don't have, I mean, it's not an option. You know, like do little things like that. But when it's money, you're like, okay, you know, a set amount. And then when you're buying things, it's
hard.
And then it's also hard too when some of the things that you're buying are things that are like they were gonna get that. Like I do this with the boys. I give gifts of things that I was gonna get it for you anyway.
Right.
I'm just
but now I get to wrap it. Yes.
Yeah.
Like so Georgia probably doesn't want warm weathered footsie pajamas.
Right.
But I'm gonna wrap them anyway and give them to her because she needs them. Because she's growing out of all of her, you know, wintry type of pajamas.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, it's certain things like that. And I don't know. It just, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's
it's
also the
hard.
problem with shopping early, because I find little things and I'm like, oh, it's on sale, it's on sale, it's on sale.
Yeah.
And then I have these things and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know how much I even
money?
spent.
Yeah. I think you're fine, and I think we stress more about it than the kids. But I also remember being a kid and thinking, like, oh well, I have self-esteem issues, so that's probably part of my issue, is that I would probably worry, like, oh, this person's more special than I am, that kind of thing.
And I think we may have talked about this. I don't remember, but does Santa bring you guys a gift?
We did discuss this,
Okay.
and no. Later on, he kind of did, but not because the boys ever noticed.
Okay. Okay, yeah, we did talk about that. Okay, so the other thing is, I have to say, I wanted the girls to have a new Power Wheel.
Oh, yeah. Did you end up finding one?
I did.
You did?
I did.
I want to see.
But it's not here.
When is it going to be here?
No, it's at my grandpa's because I couldn't.
You can't have it here.
Yeah.
We've had to do that in the past.
So the girls have one, like a hand-me-down from their cousin, little like motorized one.
Right.
Tristan had, when Tristan was little, she had a Barbie Jeep. It was like, she loved it, whatever. It was cute. Well, the girls have one of these little like motorized.
It's the motorcycle.
The motorcycle, but it's only
or
one.
Like a quad.
Yes, like a quad.
So
it's like a quad. Only
it.
one can ride it, and so it usually becomes an issue, right?
Right.
Well, anyway, I wanted them to have a Power Wheel where two of them could ride in it. Okay. Apparently, they're not as common as I think they used to be, because
really?
I had a hard time early on in the season finding them. Like, I was kind of looking like towards October, couldn't find any.
That's
hard to find
weird.
the two rider. A lot of them are single riders. They have the nice little Bentleys, little Mercedes, little whatever, but it's all one rider.
Double. That's so weird.
Weird, right? Well, then I finally start to see some that are like two rider. It's like $400 or $500. And I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I think about, how often did Tristan ride hers? Now, the girls have two. There's two of them.
Yeah.
So they might ride it more. What if they don't? And then I've got this $500 dang toy.
I don't know. They like playing in the garage a lot.
I was kind of like, should I, shouldn't I? And so anyway, then I started looking on, what is it? OfferUp.
Oh, uh-huh.
And Facebook and all these things. I have been looking, and the ones that I was looking at getting that were like 300 or so, they were being sold out. So I'm like, what the heck? And then it was like, not going to get here until January.
Oh,
not going to get. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to find this thing. Well, I found a used one that looks brand new. It looks completely brand new. It's a like dune rider for two.
I want to see it.
So it's actually kind of cute. It's actually kind of cute. I can pull it up. Like, I can pull up the brand and everything.
Yeah.
Because I showed Tony. And it is a Santa gift. But when I went to go pick it up from this lady, it was in a great neighborhood in town. And she was like, my girls hardly ride it. She goes, I have two. She goes, how old are your girls? And I said, one's going to be 4 and the other one's 2. And she goes, okay, my girls are 5 and 7. And they're just kind of phasing out a little bit, but only because we just took it with us when we would go camping.
Oh.
And now they want dirt bikes. And I was like, oh, your little girls are little badasses. I like them. So I was like, okay. So she's like, so now we're going to get them dirt bikes. Like, it's just the next phase for them. And I'm like, okay, it looks great. And it came with 2 batteries, not just one.
Oh, nice.
So you can always have one charging.
Yeah.
It's great.
How much do you?
$125.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, Santa, you made a deal.
You are magical,
yes,
Santa.
He is magical for mommy too.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing is that you're so worried about like spending this
I
much
know.
and
I'm
that
just
kind of
trying to
thing.
be cautious
But
of like how
it's
much I'm
like
spending
that's
on all
a
the
big
kids.
gift, but 125 divided by 2.
But see, it's like
it's
why
for
am
both.
I willing to spend on one gift? On one gift, they have others. They have a lot of
Yeah.
others. You know, $300 or $400, and I'm not willing to give my kid $300 or $400 cash
because it's different.
So it's just been.
I
It's
think
hard.
different.
It's hard.
I think it's different. I don't know. I mean, because it's, gosh, giving them something and having them open it and that kind of thing is also like to see the surprise on their face and that kind of thing is a little different.
I know.
Than just money. Not only that, but like, I don't know, can they handle that much money?
Exactly.
Is really what it comes down to.
I know.
Because when it's not money they've worked for,
right?
It's just they're
free money.
With it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree. I don't know. I'm probably not the best person to judge.
I don't know.
Jason like tries to increase money all the time. I'm like, eventually we have to cap it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Calm down, dude.
And I also feel like, what do our kids need? Because anything they need, they can get. Like, we can give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. It really is just like fun spending money. It's not anything.
Yeah.
They're not buying their school clothes like we did.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. It's different.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to end it with this though. One of the good stories that I had was we flew back from Vegas, and the next day turned around and we had Gigi, her preschool Christmas party at school, and this is, you know, like I told you, it's all new, the whole private school thing and everything, and so it was a little classroom like performance.
Okay.
They didn't have it's not like one like at the public schools where it's like this big in the cafeteria and it's this huge. It was in the classroom, and I just absolutely love that at the very end they sang, I think, Rudolph and Jingle Bells, but they had all of these songs that were like
religious songs.
Yes,
I love that.
And it was so sweet, and it was so good to hear. And it was sweet because I'd been hearing, like I hear, even now, she still will sing the songs.
I love that. I do. Because it's them, like, it's not just commercial.
Right.
Like, it's the real meaning.
Right.
I love that.
So it was.
I'm going to have to ask her to sing something for me.
Yeah.
She sang Jingle Bells for me, but.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. But
Danny heard Rudolph in the car the other day, and she said, "This is Gigi's song."
That's so cute.
Not really, but.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Okay, guys. Well, hang in there. We're almost through Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy your time.
Try not to be too crazy.
You're almost done with Elf on the Shelf. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
I can't wait for next year when I really have to think about things. I think I'm going to buy that girl's kit.
Yeah.
But hang in there and enjoy every moment of it. And maybe you'll catch us on a live in the next few days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas. Segment music by Callie Grace. For more of Callie Grace's hits, follow Callie Grace on iTunes and Spotify today.